Hey, welcome in Carpooling with Ben. I have two great people here who really do amazing things for kids in our community that just want one thing. They're just looking for one thing in life, and that is a forever family. I have Darlene and Donna from Adoption Rhode Island. Thank you so much for coming in and for going on a ride on a beautiful day through lovely Providence.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
There's water over in the doors for you there.
Gorgeous.
Lovely accommodations
Yeah.
here. Nothing but the finest over at here. It's Poland Springs too. So,
Yeah, perfect.
But
Yeah.
you guys, I will say this right off the bat. I mean, we've worked together on a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
You guys do such an excellent job at maintaining a presence throughout the year, whether it be through events, through the Heart Gallery, which we'll talk about, through all the different things. So tell me about what it is you do and just kind of size it up for people who don't know.
Yeah, sure. We're busy all year long. This is May, which is National Foster Care Month, so it's another opportunity for us to really spread the word about all the kids here in Rhode Island that are in foster care that really could use your help. Obviously, most of what we do is really try to find families for these kids, but at the same time, we also provide a lot of opportunities for people in the community to help in different ways. We have volunteers. We ask people if they want to become mentors or foster parents. Many people do fundraisers to help these kids so that we can, send them to baseball games, give them opportunities to do some art classes and stuff like that. Just to be a normal kid.
Just to be a normal
and
kid,
there's such beautiful, amazing, awesome kids in our foster care system. A lot of people don't even know about them, but they're in all our communities. They live in every town across the state and go to school with everybody else's kids, and they just want an opportunity to be able to live in a family and do normal kid things. And so that's kind of what we're about, and we do a lot of events and we do a lot of awareness raising. We provide a lot of direct services to kids and families, and we're like a bunch of people that really care about them, and basically we do whatever we can.
I mean, the entire staff, over the year, there's no question. You everybody in there absolutely loves what they do, loves working with the kids, just has an absolute great attitude and focused on that, because this could be some very trying times for these kids with what they're going through, whether it's a situation with home or school. There's just so many different things that affect them when they go to your facility, they work with your people, or when they finally get that, they finally find the family that they're going to spend the rest of their life with. It's a very emotional time for them. So it's amazing the services you provide, because you're not just a placement agency. You also do some you work with them therapeutically, whether it be mentally, just talking to them.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, kids that are in the foster care system. I mean, some people might think Adoption Rhode Island is a placement agency for babies for adoption, and that's not who we are. I mean, we'll talk to families that are interested in that so we can direct them where they would like to go, but we're really about kids that are in our foster care system, helping them to have better futures. And so unfortunately these kids are in the foster care system not through any fault of their own. They're not bad kids. They're good kids, but they've had abuse and neglect and other traumatic events, and so, we do what we can to try to make sure that they get the right types of counseling and support, opportunities for fun, to do things, like I said, that all kids get to do. We provide a lot of matching between families and kids, and then really try to give them opportunities. We bring siblings together. Unfortunately, a lot of these kids, once they go into foster care, they're in different settings, and we really value brothers and sisters and knowing how important they are to each other. And so we do a lot of things to bring those kids together, send them to camp, have birthday parties with them together.
Well, all these events, they need some funding. So if you're watching this at home and you want to write a $250,000 or a $500,000 check,
be really appreciated.
Adoption Rhode Island, right there, memo donation.
Because it's not just about the kids before their adoption. It's we want to make sure that the families stay together afterwards. So we do a lot of support. We offer a lot of support services for families post adoption, to make sure that they maintain the family unit. whether it's counseling or whether it's events, fun events like the Paw Sox game or something that the family can go to together. There's a lot of opportunities to help post-adoption as well as pre-adoption.
Some of the events that you guys do throughout the year that are fundraising, what's coming up over the next few months or into the summer?
Or Friday.
Well,
This Friday.
this Friday.
we
So
have-
for those watching after this Friday, what's coming up?
Our annual spring fundraiser is Friday, and we're doing a little bit different. It's Superheroes at Skyline, which is actually right around here.
Yeah.
It's a spring fundraiser we've been doing forever. It just lets people come together and network and maybe have something to eat and hang out and do something nice for kids. In July is our annual summer camp fundraiser at Harborside in East Greenwich.
Okay.
So that's July 12th.
All right.
And it's a really fun night. It's casual evening, $20 a ticket, and you come down and you sit on the ocean, enjoy some great food. There's some great raffle items and dancing, and it's always a lot of fun. And it raises money to help children go to summer camp because
that's awesome.
most kids in foster care do not get the opportunity to go to summer camp in their lives. So this sends about 50 kids to camp every single year.
Wow.
With full supplies, with sleeping bags, with all the hygiene that they need, all the gear that they need. It's really a great event.
Well, I'm glad, you also asked about our fundraisers and the fact that, people can make a donation, and that, Donna mentioned the camp program, especially, only 55% of our budget is funded through, contracts, government contracts with the state. The 45% of our budget that helps us to do lots and lots of good things for kids in the foster care system and families who are either fostering or have adopted are done because we have community support. The fact that we do all these fundraisers, and we do accept checks for $250,000 if anyone is so inclined. That helps us to really bridge that gap. And
Sure, if you write that check, they'll take you to Finn's Harborside anytime.
Exactly. I think that it's one of those things that people think that we're completely state funded, but that's not the case. It's we really rely on the community, and we're so appreciative of the Rhode Island community.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
one of the things that you guys do, where it's been a great vehicle for just putting more of a face and a story to the children that are in the system, is the Heart Gallery.
Yep.
And it goes around to different locations, whether it be CARDI'S furniture, the guys are back there, right? They're buckled in, they're good.
Yeah.
Or different libraries or different public buildings. Talk to me how that program got started and where people can see it.
Well, it got started. Rhode Island can't take credit for thinking of this. It started in New Mexico, but Rhode Island can take credit in the fact that we've been at this for 12 or 13 years now.
This will be 13.
And we really appreciate CARDI'S, because CARDI'S has been there from the beginning, helping us to highlight the Heart Gallery every step of the way. So we work with a number of fabulous photographers who donate their time and talent, and create these wonderful opportunities for kids that are in foster care that might need a little help getting recruitment. Yeah. Generally, they're kids that are older, and they have these wonderful photo shoots, and what comes out of it.
Folks, this isn't something that's like going to school. It's Life Touch or whatever the school photography thing is.
No.
Olin Mills, you sit there and this is a photo shoot.
It's a whole day actually, because the kids really enjoy it. The photographers find out what their interests are, and then they bring them to a spot that will totally interest them, and they spend hours with them having fun, laughing, making them feel comfortable. So the photos that are a result of those are just pure childhood.
Yeah. And kids in foster care oftentimes don't even have photos from their childhood. So again, it's another thing that these kids get the photos of themselves, and then we get a beautiful portrait. And generally there's about 20 kids each year that are part of the Heart Gallery for the year. And those portraits are displayed. We open the gallery each year at the State House in November, which is National Adoption Month. And then it travels across the state. Again, CARDI'S every year hosts it, generally around January, I believe. but it travels to other locations, East Greenwich, Patuxent Village, libraries across the state. We're always looking for businesses and places that, other families might be at that could, host it so that we could get the kids' faces, because again, we know how wonderful these kids are and how beautiful they are and how they add to families, but we're in it every day. A lot of people in the community still don't know that these kids are here in Rhode Island.
They're beautiful portraits. They're canvas wrapped, donated by printmakers in Pawtucket, who's been doing it for years and years and years. And then Modern Diner, also in Pawtucket, printmakers makes a big collage, a hanging collage framed, that Modern Diner features in their waiting area, which is really cool, because if you've been to Modern Diner, there's always a long line waiting.
Oh yeah, no, it's it's
so
certainly
people get to really
Rhode Island,
know, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and you can also learn about this. Your website has all the information. Your Facebook page has the different events that are coming up. So really the best thing people can do is to find you guys on Facebook.
Yeah.
And like and and follow.
Like us.
Because that's when you're going to find out, because you never know if some event pops up and it's like, oh hey, let's go here. You're going to have dinner anyway.
Yeah.
Why not do it and support a great cause, or just get information. How does the adoption process, the short version, how does it work? Is it, you don't just show up one day and say, hey, I want to be a parent, and then okay, here's your child.
No.
It's for the safety of the children.
We're going to be with you for a long time.
We're going to become friends.
Well, I think you summed it up, that Adoption Rhode Island really wants to work in partnership with families and open our arms and be very, we have a very, we believe families are all different sizes, shapes, colors, configurations. We're very open and accepting, but we do want to make sure that families go through the process of ensuring that they're going to provide safety and a commitment to children.
Yeah.
So there is a process. We work with the state of Rhode Island at DCYF, so there would be a home study, and people would be licensed. They go through some classes. It's 10-week of classes. And then their home study gets referred back to Adoption Rhode Island, and we work with them, and we have all of the kids that need families in Rhode Island are referred to us, so we work together to try to get a good match. There might be some families that are interested in parenting a child that's between 3 and 8. There could be other families that say, you know what, I think I could take a sibling group of 2, or or it could be a family that, maybe a teacher or something that already knows of a child in their school, and they want us to help them so that they can go through the process so that they could adopt that child.
Right.
So we work together to try to kind of hold their hands through the process. Not, it's not something that we take lightly. We want to make sure it's a good match for the family and for the child. So that's why it's not something that happens overnight as well.
And we want to get to know them. So during if families that are registered with us are invited to a waiting family information night that are held quarterly. There's been a few meetings where our topic was adopting a teen, and some families came in thinking, no, I just want a young child, and left that meeting thinking, I think I can do it. I think I can welcome a teen into my family, which is really, it's really wonderful.
I think that one of the biggest things that I'm hearing is, even if you're just interested in adoption in general, or come with an open mind, because there's so many different things. You guys have you're such a resource for all these different options that are out there, and because it really, the end goal is, hey, if it's the right family, the right child, let's do what we can.
Let's figure it out.
Let's make it work and get it done.
Yeah,
that's
and keep it done.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's the long term overall health.
Exactly, and one of the things too that we really focus on is trying to work to keep kids from aging out of the foster care system. Okay. As you said, we believe all young people should have a family.
Sure.
They should grow up in a family. They should be connected to a family. And regardless of what age they are, whether they're 3 years old or I just heard in our staff meeting this morning that next week a 19-year-old is getting adopted, and some people don't even realize that that's even, you know, an option.
Sure.
But we try to keep these kids hopeful, and we try to help them so that they don't age out of care. We're working on some advocacy around legislation so that we can extend foster care so that they don't become homeless at 18.
Right.
And we also have a lot of services right now so that they can be more prepared. So when they are out of foster care, they do have those family connections, they have an education, and they have opportunities hopefully to get a good job.
Yeah, because you teach them not, I mean, they're in the schools, they're getting the education there, but you teach them a lot of life skills as well.
We try to teach them life skills, and we try to, you know, help them to
because
build
you can't just survive on mac and cheese every night. Okay,
You can't.
You
know,
can.
well,
but-
Ramen noodles only go so far.
Absolutely.
yeah, my niece
It's,
and nephew think they can.
well, I cut out. You know what I've done with ramen noodles is
Yeah.
I've cut out the carbs. I just mix. I just you know do the flavor packet.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
where all the vitamins are. That's where
Yeah,
all the nutrients
exactly,
are.
you know.
I just maybe a quick squish of water.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know.
It's fine. My
That's
blood
nice.
is my
Make it a
blood is like
smoothie.
Play-Doh.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great. So. All right.
Yeah, so rolling right along.
As we were saying, what else is coming up towards as we go further into the year? What else is coming up? Any because you guys will obviously have your big event and celebration in November, as you do at
Yeah.
the Rhode Island State House, which is open to anybody.
Yep.
People can come and
Yeah.
and be part of the ceremony there. It's great. You guys get a lot of great support from a lot of the local media, including Frank Carpano, NBC10.
Yeah.
He's always at the events there. You can always tell he's there. He's the tallest one in the room.
Yeah, we're appreciative of Frank,
Yeah.
and obviously Patrice, who
Tuesday's
does
Child.
Tuesday's Child.
Absolutely. That's another great feature. Yeah.
She's somebody all the kids really get to know, and it's
She's
really,
gotten to do some really cool things with Tuesday's Child.
She has.
She's played basketball with the Globetrotters, right?
Yeah.
She's done some. Has anybody gone parachuting, or is that an
Somebody went up in a helicopter.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
they did some-
That's
yeah.
something different.
That's part of also, like, we ask the kids what do they want to do, and again it's also trying to make sure that everything we do is child focused and child centered, so that because it's hard. I mean, can you imagine having to go on TV or go on a radio or do anything like that and saying to the world, I want a family? I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's it's difficult, and they're the bravest kids that we know. So what we do is try to make it be as fun and not scary. So it gives them opportunities to do things. They get excited, and
That's
we're
so
happy
great.
to do that. Yeah.
Support from, we get a lot of support from Wendy's as well, who is currently
yeah.
doing their coupon book fundraiser,
Yeah.
where you can purchase a coupon book for 8 free Junior Frosties for $1, and the proceeds come to Adoption Rhode Island, and that goes through May 30th, and
Wow.
the amount, the support from the community is
Yeah.
just amazing.
That's so great.
It's an amazing, so encourage you, go get your Frosties.
Yeah, well, Dave Thomas was adopted, and
Right, I was gonna
it
say
really
that's-
became part of the whole corporate culture to basically give back to kids in foster care and kind of do the right thing. I mean, he had kind of like a credo around you can do the right thing as a business.
Yep.
And so we're fortunate here in Rhode Island that we have wonderful Wendy's franchisee owners and corporate support. So and also we work with the Dave Thomas Foundation on one of the only evidence-based programs around recruitment for kids that's very successful. So
Wow.
yeah.
One of the other really cool things that we started last year is the Duffel Bag Bash, which was an idea of somebody who realized that a lot of children are moving from home to home, because a lot of children in foster care have to move their placements often.
They get there's a really terrible term that they refer to them as trash bag kids.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and they are moving in trash bags. So the
We don't
idea
even
was-
really like trash bags being
No.
allowed in Adoption Rhode Island, so
Yeah.
it's just
Try to be as green as possible.
we
Recycle everything.
yeah. So
So this fundraiser is to collect new suitcases or rolling duffel bags for kids, to provide to kids who are in care, so that they can move with some dignity.
dignity,
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's
you
great.
know.
It was this year it's going to be held on August 13th,
Okay.
and it's down in
Matunic down at the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Perfect
so-
time to take a roll down there.
Last year was a really, really hot day.
It was a really hot day,
know?
but it's a super fun day, and it's outdoors. There's activities going on. There's
If people want to get involved, if people want to learn more, it's not that hard to do. You have a website, you have Facebook. What else can they? They can just call you guys, right?
They can call us, 401-865-6000. Go to our website, like you said, www.adoptionri.org. Like us on Facebook. You know, we're pretty active on social media.
Just start finding out these different things, and before you know it, it's you really get roped in, and if you're not in a position where you can adopt, still supporting what the mission that they're doing over there at Adoption Rhode Island is probably one of the greatest things you can do, and help give back in the community, because really it's you're helping to shape the future. It's these kids they're the next leaders. They're the next
Exactly.
They're the next people that are going to be taking care of us when we all get older. So
Well,
they're
and
going to make some decisions.
It's a generational impact too.
Sure.
So I mean, there's a lot of, because the agency's been around now over 30 years. Some of the people are kind of coming back and talking with us and everything, and it's like now they have kids, and so it's breaking a cycle of poverty. It's breaking the cycle of child welfare involvement. It's once someone's in your family, then they have an entire extended family, and so I think it makes a difference not only for that one child, but for an entire family system for generations, which is pretty
heavy.
pretty cool.
That's very
Pretty
cool.
amazing,
That's
you
awesome.
know.
It's so great.
So yeah, and we do have a great staff. I mean, we have difficult days because, like you mentioned before, the kids go through a lot, and it's challenging work. But the staff of Adoption Rhode Island, I have to say, I'm blessed every day to go into the office and work with all of them. Donna, there's quite a few of them, and they are really good people, and they really care, and
We're family, and family is what we're about.
Oh,
so
yeah. You guys demonstrate that in every facet of the word, which is great. Every opportunity out there that you guys get to pull people together and pull them in and get them involved. It's just great. So thank you so much for coming on a ride. I can't help but notice we're on Federal Hill right now, so we might just have to do lunch. Just carry the discussion further. You never know. Thank you very much, both.
Thank you.
Find them online, folks.
Yeah.
Get involved, get active, and show the support, show the love for everybody over at Adoption Rhode Island.
Thank
thank
you.
you.